Hello everyone, myself is Prakash and this video is about Python. We will be discussing from the very basics of the Python, right from setting up our project to installing IDEs or code editors and writing our first Python program. So this video is for very beginners who has no programming experience, has zero experience with code editors or setting up the project and nothing. So we are going to start from zero. So first we need to head over to our Chrome browser. Uh, well, here we need to type VS Code. We need to click on the first link which we get and hit on this download for Windows button. We have other options as well for Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. Since I'm working on Windows, so this will do for me. As soon as I hit the button, setup file has started downloading. I can see it here. Okay, so it's downloading. As soon as download finishes, I can go to the folder. I just need to double click on it, and the installation process will start. So I just need to accept the agreement and next. Make sure you check on all the checkboxes here. Next and install. All right, finish. VS Code opens up, but before that, let's minimize it and get rid of these setup files. There. So let's delete it and close it. Let's close this. So VS Code, we have VS Code here. In VS Code, we need to go to extensions, the box icon here, click on Python, and the first link which we get, the first extension which we get, we need to install that extension. Right now it's installed, so I'll show you how it looks like when it's not installed. So now I have uninstalled it, so this is how it will look like. You just need to press on install. So far we have downloaded and installed our VS Code, which is a code editor, and a extension on top of it. The code editors facilitate us, developers or programmer, in a big way. They provide an environment and tools which come very handy while development. And extension like this is a package which sits on top of the IDE and adds some extra features to our IDE. Let's think it that way. For example, there's a live share package, and so what it does is it actually real-time collaborative uh, development from the comfort of your favorite tools. So this gives you the opportunity to uh, collaborate with your colleagues and friends and whatever on real time on your VS Code. We'll see later on in the course what how and what we can do out of it. For now, we just need this extension Python and VS Code. And also we need to download Python on our system, so that so in order to do that, we just need to go to the Python website, the official website, python.org. And this is the one, www.python.org. In here we can download our Python 3.11. Just click on it. Again, set a file will be downloaded. Show all. Done. Show in folder. Double click on it and install now. Click on it. Check mark python.exe to path and install now. It will require root privileges from your system. You just have to click on yes, and installation will start. All right, installation done. Close, close, close. Let's go to cmd command prompt to check whether the installation has happened properly or not. We can just write Python here, enter. Okay, my bad. Spelling is wrong. So as you can see, we can see Python shell has opened up with Python 3.11, and this means our Python has been installed. Python interpreter has been installed successfully into our system. So far we have installed three things. One is VS Code for our code editing. Second is Python package for which extension which will facilitate VS Code for writing Python program, and the Python interpreter which will read the Python file. Okay, so for example, this shell is very intuitive. We can write the Python program right away from here itself. For example, if I do 4 plus 4, it will give me answer 8. We can do the print thing as well. Print row hello is printed. So yeah, a little bit of Python here we went through. So let's close it and take a look at our IDE. So far we have downloaded all the pieces we required to start a Python programming. Just one last thing is left is to set up our project. To do that, just create a folder in here on the desktop or anywhere in your system. You can name whatever you want to your folder. I am going to name it project. And simply drag and drop this folder here. This is one of the way we can start our project, or the other way is to click on file, open folder, and select the project folder which we have created, and select it. Since it was already selected, nothing happened. Now we need to create a .py file with extension .py, so that our system, our computer could know that this is a Python specific file and it has to be read by Python interpreter, which we just installed on our system. And we so now we have to create a Python specific file. Let's start doing it. So uh, you can see some icons to the right of the project. It says new file, the other one says new folder. We'll see while new folder is required, but for now new file will do. So new file, you can name whatever you want to your file. I'm going to name it test. And extension, we have to give dot and py. The moment I gave this extension .py, we got a symbol uh, appended, prepended to our file, which symbolizes that okay, this is a Python file, and it has to be read by um, a Python interpreter. So enter. Now this is one of those Python files, .py files, wherein we can write our Python script. So first, let's try the from the basic. Let's try to print our first Python program, which is hello world. So the simplest example is to print parenthesis. So if I hover onto this, we can see it is a function. Okay, so since it is a function, it is going to take something into it as a parameter, and let's give it as a parameter hello world. That's it. We can You can see the white dot here. It will go away as soon as I'll press Control S. So Control S is for save. Now it shows that it's gone. That means it's saved. Now we can just run this little program and see the terminal, see the result below in the terminal. So here we saw this printed hello world. Let's try to let's take a variable name v, and v equals uh, again it's going to be string hello world. Strings has to be wrapped around these quotes, either double quotes or single quotes. This is a variable type. Here in Python, we don't have to explicitly uh, give the data type of our variable. We just have to give a variable and the variable's value. So in case of a string, we need to put double quotes or single quotes. So v is equal to hello world. And if I try to use this v in our function print, I can use it simply just v. No double quotes now, since it's a variable. And it will generate the same output. See, hello world. Now what if I do this? I remove this quotes. It gives me this squiggly thing, which is again why we need uh, IDEs. They tell us where our syntax is going wrong. So I need to wrap it around quotes and hello world. Okay. Uh, what if I were to print a number? Okay, so let's say 52 is the number I'm wanting to print. Now, if I give this double quote, it will be treated as a string, and result. of this versus result of this with no codes will be same. We can just run this program and both of these two will run together. Control S. So see 52, 52. But if we try to see the type of this V, let's say not V, if we are going to give V1, this is V1 and this is uh, V2. So if we test the type of V1 and V2, we'll get to know, okay, V1 is uh, in string and V2 is integer. So we have this function called type and again parenthesis and type of v1 we can use, and similarly we can say uh, type of v, and again we need to print those types, so we can again wrap it under print statement. Print, right, print. So one is says class is string and other one says class integer. Int stands for integer and str stands for string. So the first one is string. The v1 is a string. As we can see, it is wrapped around double quotes. That's why it is string. Essentially, it is a string, but it looks similar as number here in the output. But as of now, it's not making any difference, but in several cases it will. For example, concatenation. We can concatenate two variables of the same type. For example, if I try to concatenate v1 with v2, it will throw an error because v1 is of string type and v2 is of int type. So let's try to do this. To concatenate two string or uh, any string literal, we just need to use plus sign. So print v1 plus v2. We can get rid of these print statements and save it. Yeah. So there you go. We got this error. Print v1 plus v2 can only concatenate str, not into str. So we are trying to concatenate int, which is v2, to the str, which is v1. That's hence the error. If I turn this into a game, now result is interesting. What is it going to be? Is it going to be 104 or 52, 52 two times? Since it's a string now, then it's not going to, the plus operator is not going to behave as an addition of these two numbers. These are not numbers, these are strings, so these will be concatenated. We'll see what I mean by this. Okay, let me clear the screen first. So 52, 52 two times we got. But if we remove this double quotes and turn this into a number or integer, The plus operator will add these two. Okay, save, and 104. Okay, so one more example of concatenation I want to show with just uh, with just strings. For example, s1 is equal to hello, and I'm gonna print s1 plus s2. Print s1 plus s2. This will concatenate these two words, and result will be in front of you, what it looks like. So hello world. Uh, there's no space, you can see, because there's no space here as well. So how do we generate a space? We can concatenate a space here as well. So for that reason, we can just do plus and give it a quotes and a space, and then another plus here. This means we are concatenating S1 with space, and then the whole thing is being concatenated with S2. So the result, the output would be hello space world. Hello space world. Now, one more thing, since we are talking about print statements, one more thing I want to discuss is like formatted strings. Let's go for the syntax of formatted strings. Uh, let's see the syntax of the formatted string. What are Okay, so we have a variable year is equal to 2016. Another variable event is equal to referendum. Remember, this referendum is a string type, and this is an int type. But now we have the final statement instruction. F quotes results of the year and event. So these curly braces are nothing but placeholders. So within placeholders, we can plug into the value of variables. We can plug into the variables, and it will generate the value of the variable, that is 2016. So this is the output we get from this particular line. Uh, this particular line. Okay, so results come as it is, off comes as it is, the comes are as it is, and instead of year we are getting the value of year, that is 2016, and instead of getting event we are getting value of event, that is referendum. So this is a placeholder wherein we can plug in the values of the variables. So let's try this on our system once. So let's say e is equal to 2022, and sorry, y is equal to 2022, and e is equal to python class, python course, of course in double quotes. So let's try to print this with a formatted string. So we have to call the print function, of course print, and f, and then comes the double quotes or single quotes, and then we could say welcome, curly braces. Remember the placeholders. The first placeholder will hold the variable y, and Second placeholder will hold the variable p, and that's it. Save and see the result. Let me clear the screen first. And welcome to 2022 Python course. Okay, so the reason why we have this sort of arrangement for printing, uh, different ways of printing uh, mm, statements, is because a different way of printing the statement comes handy in different situation. For example, this will come handy if we are trying to get information from the user. Let me show you what I mean by getting information from the user. So, all right. So, this statement, what this line of code, what it will do is like it's again, it has two round brackets. That means it's a function again. If I hover over it, you can see the first thing it says function input is like prompt object, and it gives str. So we can say y is equal to input. So in y, the whatever input the user gives will be saved into the y. Let's run this program and see how it works. So here it says enter the year, exactly the same statement which what we have given here. So the moment we give any year and then press enter, says now the next line is executed. E is equal to this thing already have been given to the variable, and now this third line is executed. So welcome to 2022 learning Python course. Or so that's how we can take input from the user and plug it into the placeholders and use a formatted string to print the statement. We can give other examples as well. We can run this again. We can say we can say here 2016, and if I press enter again, we'll get the results. So here we are getting welcome to 2016. Whatever user is giving the input, we are getting as an output. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and take care. Bye.